This evening, the COI report conducted into the public service was handed over to the Speaker this morning. Minister of Communities is not pleased as the rate the housing drive has been progressing. Law and order is coming to Mon Repos and Lusignan markets. Barbers and beauticians have been moved to Merriman's Mall. In the region, Venezuelan lawmakers reject a state of emergency decree. And internationally, the world's largest cruise ship, Harmony of the Seas, prepares for its maiden voyage.
From Safetv headquarters in South Raval Gardens, this is Safetv Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Join us. The report from the COI conducted into the public service by the government was handed over to the Speaker of the National Assembly by Minister of State Joseph Harmon this morning. Kingsley Bryan will provide the details in this report.
The Public Service COI report into the operations of the public service has been officially handed over to the Speaker of the National Assembly. This will see the process for the public as well as the National Assembly being made privy to its contents. Minister of State Joseph Harmon made the presentation to Dr. Barton, Scotland.
It's important that we allow for the Speaker to get a copy of the report even before Cabinet has completed its deliberations. We intend also to hand a copy of this report to the Leader of the Opposition and to the other unions that are involved that have anything at all to do with the public service.
The minister said that these groups will be receiving their copies today, since that is part of his plan for the day. When questioned on how soon the government would be able to act on the recommendations of the report, Minister Harmon offered the following response.
The report has been laid before Cabinet yesterday, and therefore Cabinet will now consider the recommendations that have been made by the Commission, and then Cabinet will express a view on it.
Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Barton, Scotland, said receipt of the report is most welcoming.
Pleased to receive the report. We know that it is something that's of interest to, I would say, a very large number of people in the country. In fact, I would say the whole country. And so that we've gotten it now is the first stage in making it available as a public document.
The report was presented to President Granger last Friday. George, a lot of anxiety builds on this report since public servants are waiting to hear and see the government fulfill its promise of a pay increase. It was relayed that the public servants would know this fate after government had reviewed the Commission of Inquiry's report.
Thank you, Kingsley. Well, you know what they say, patience is a virtue. Perhaps an increase in salary would be the best gift for the Guyanese people at Jubilee. Law and order is coming to Mon Repos and Lusignan markets. Yesterday, the RDC Vice Chairman, NDC Chairman, and councillors met with market vendors to plan for change. Andrew Weeks reports that although there was some opposition by the vendors, the council's decision was firm.
Hundreds of vendors flocked the Lusignan Community Center to hear what proposals the council had to deliver for the regularization of the Mon Repos and the Lusignan markets. The meeting was attended by the new chairman and councillors, RDC Vice Chairman, members of the Guyana Police Force, the Public Health Department, and the Ministry of Public Infrastructure. However, the plans decided upon were not favorable to some vendors. NDC Chairman Ayub Mohammed's position was clear. He purported that there would be no vending on the tarmac during the week. Weekends, however, would be the exception. He explains why.
As a new council that has just come on board, we have been receiving complaints from every single quarter of this country. That market, the Mon Repos market, is one of the most popular markets in this country. You people should be proud of it. Instead, you got to hang your heads in shame because it's the stinkiest market in the country.
The purpose of the meeting was to put measures in place to transform the two markets from unhealthy and hazardous to pleasant and healthy functional. Among the concerns were the stench from the dumping of spoiled meat, the congestion of traffic, especially on weekends, the littering of garbage, the abandonment of stands in traffic places. These practices, said Mr. Ayub Mohammed, must stop.
I know some people are still, but if you can't do it, if in 10 years you can't do it, you can't do it now either. if in 10 years you can't do it, you can't do it now either.
Some tempers flared as vendors protested that they had nowhere to take their stands when the markets were closed. The chairman of the council responded that he did not brought them there, and those who did, therefore, had the responsibility of removing them. Melison McKenzie, Community Coordinator within the Ministry of Public Infrastructure and Regional Democratic Council Vice Chair, Mr. Lambert, also shared their opinions.
I don't think the RDC, the NDC, nor any caring person wants to put you out of bread. The ministry is not concerned about putting you out of bread. But certainly we want you to comply with the law.
If you would have entered into an agreement with the market or the council, and for some reason there was a breakdown, it means that the council also would have been complicit.
Some vendors also had their say. Listen.
Market money never meet body. Them a fresh over the hell and you still a meet. I am a vendor. You take me out of the market, but you not take the market out of me. I come back, I am still there.
If every vendor could take an oath at the end of the day, they remove all the garbage. That will help.
So lots of money having stall and places in the market and occupy the tarmac outside and giving me a hard time. Only place where they will come and sell, and when you go to sell cutlass, put me next to all day.
In the end, the vendors elected a committee of 7 persons to represent their concerns. The committee would then take the concerns to the NDC for perusal and approval. George, the cleaning up campaign is spreading like wildfire across the country. It is now Monrepo and Lusignan's time. But make no mistake, the council's decision is final. Clear the tarmac at the end of the day or face demolition. Cleaning of the 2 markets begin on Thursday this week so that the place can smell fresh, look clean for the 50th Independence celebration and beyond. Over to you, George.
Thanks, Andrew. We must develop a new culture, that of a people who are clean and green. Barbers and beauticians from around the city have been moved to Merriman's Mall. What are their general feelings on the matter? Find out more in this report. A section of Merriman's Mall on North Road has been allocated for use by barbers and beauticians. It is well known that the moving of vendors from in front of Stobrook Market caused much displeasure. However, the reaction here seems to be quite different.
With the new location thing, we have no problem with it.
I'm thankful that, to find some way and put we, and in time this...
So how does the rent compare to where you were previously?
Far better.
They were moved here last week, but so far they are comfortable with the location. The rent is the same as before, but the way it is managed is much better. This barber enjoys having an allocated space as it gives the hard-working men and women here a sense of pride and legitimacy for their craft.
This is the first government ever find some way for us. Because the previous administration, them, they just used to say, well, we legal, and just used to say, well, barbering is not on the road and stuff like that, right? But this government here now, they find some way for us. This is the first time. They ever find places for like barbers and like nail technicians and things like that. Okay? Because we is not the people them who got the money like for go and rent a big location and them things. So we ain't really got it, you know what I mean? But now we could say, well, we get something for ourselves. We never had this. You know what I'm saying? Nobody never do this for street barbers before.
This barber prefers this location over the street side location due to the poor conditions of his last location.
It was uptown, that drains right in front of you. Sometimes the drains filter kind of thing running in the drains, urine kind of thing you do, so sometimes you feel bad and them thing. I'm glad for what they do for us, man.
This beautician also likes the location itself. Not only is it clean, but the open air space is preferable to the cramped, stuffy streets of downtown.
I think by next month should pick up. Some customers come here and do they hear they say that they like it. It's cool, it's better than where they went before.
While they are generally pleased with the location, there are just small improvements that they would like to see come to the mall.
Yeah, we gotta get rubbish bin, we gotta get current run to be 10, and everything else is normal because we don't got the news, papers and everything up. So we are right here though. At least we are right, you know, but others with them previews or nothing about it, right? We good.
Because of the move, the barbers and beauticians have noticed a drop in foot traffic. With this in mind, the small business owners here at Merriman's Mall have this last comment for the public.
You could come and check out the barber shop on the mall by Cummins and North Road between Church Street. You could come and check me out. Nail technician and barbers. We there.
Coming up on Headline News after the break, cleaning must be an ongoing process in and around our city and our country as a whole. And Ronald Bulkin is not pleased at the rate the housing drive has been progressing within his ministry.
I'll say, will you marry me? I swear that I will mean it. I say, will you marry me? Say it.
Jean-Louis Styles, simply different.
If you're in town and you're looking for a mall with everything under one roof, then you need to go to the Parliament View Vendors Mall. Here is why.
I see money right now. And when people come in and visit the place, I tell them to come back and support us.
You can get your bread, your top up, your fruits, your hats, your pants, everything in this one location.
The mall is very comfortable. The working facilities is more comfortable, so people feel more relaxed to come and support us.
Wonderful greens, fresh and nice, fresh calmo, cocoa, blanche, fresh and nice. We are right here, Parliament View.
Get the roads to the mountain, everything again. Clean out.
You know where we used to sell before? So them tell you we're going in your mall.
Come to Parliament View, get juice, milk and bump from me.
Come and support us.
Go to the Parliament View Mall and support your vendors, support your persons who you bought from.
The new Parliament View Vendors Mall. Everything fresh and clean and in order at one location. Sponsored by the Mayor and City Council of Georgetown.
With a distinctive flavor, Umder Palka ghee is made from 100% pure vegetable oil. This Palka ghee is a delight when preparing sweetmeats and other dishes for healthy cooking with a rich buttery taste and aroma. It is used for religious purposes and is a principal fuel for burning. Umder Palka ghee is light, pure, with a real ghee texture.
This is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safetv Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery. when you watch The Baby Story on Safetv Channel 2.
Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkin said that he is not pleased at the rate the housing drive has been progressing within his ministry. Andrew Weeks reports that the minister gave kudos to foreign donors who have been making sterling contributions thus far.
Subject Minister Ronald Bulkin recently spoke his mind on the issues of housing with Gina. He is hoping the pace of growth and development will change with the help of the National Housing Profile. Listen.
We have not been able to accelerate the delivery of housing solutions as much as I would have liked the ministry to have done. However, we have gone a far way in identifying the framework, and we have the housing profile. The completion of a housing profile is in its advanced stages, an activity that has been supported by the UNDP. It will provide all of the baseline data to identify where is the greatest need and where our infrastructural development, what should be the focus of our infrastructural development.
The minister also stated that the housing profile would inform policy formation and make the way clear, not to mention prioritize action within the housing sector.
So, in conjunction with the ministry, the framework for the housing program, strategy, as well as the program will be clearly identified during the course of this year that will allow us to accelerate that delivery deficiency that I would have alluded to.
The development of housing communities is what the coalition government believes will be more suitable than random house lots distribution. George, the housing profile is just one of the many opportunities available within the Ministry of Housing. But could it be that it is time now for every person born here to be given a piece of land from the 83,000 square miles owned by the citizens of this country called Guyana? That's the question. Back to you, George.
Thanks, Andrew. We do need to find a way to utilize the vast amount of land we possess. The cleaning and desilting of the city's trenches was not limited to a one-time campaign promise. Several months have transpired since our first cleaning in years, with thick brush and sludge again filling the trenches. But here at the corner of Peter Rose and Church Street in Queenstown, men are hard at work to ensure that Mother Nature, as well as residential runoff, does not retake the city's trenches. This work is not going unnoticed. Residents and drivers alike lauded the men as they passed by. Unfortunately, the people who passed were too busy to stop and give a formal comment. Nonetheless, the residents seem pleased with the progress. While the progress here seems to be going well, as we have previously reported, residents in South Rheinfeldt are none too pleased about the route that the trucks take to dump the sludge from the trenches. As the trench maintenance continues, hopefully the coordination of the cleanup effort will include the opinions of the local residents. Only time will tell if it will. More trouble as the slush truck activity continues on Caneview Avenue, with more residents coming out in protest of the damage and discomfort they are experiencing. Andrew Weeks investigated and filed this report.
Since Headline News' last report, the damage the heavy-duty slush truck have done to the David Rose Street and Caneview Avenue roads has increased. A particular resident who requested that his identity be undisclosed said the trucks are now driving through Barometer Street and are causing the same damage that was done to the David Rose Street. There is an area on David Rose Street which has become impassable to cars.
Today I've noticed trucks, the same trucks driving through Barometer Street, a street that's maintained by the community residents in the area, and I've just traversed it and I've noticed at Caneview Avenue and Barometer Street, the road has already started to break up, and also you're seeing a lot of indentations along the edges of the road through Barometer, on the shoulders of the road, and I just decided to highlight it before it gets worse.
Headline News took its cameras to investigate the complaint and witness the operation of the trucks. They drove past us in single file after dumping slush mud on the site and were heading to Barometer Street for their exit. The road, just as the resident had said, had been broken and were widening. The resident is pleading for the city councillor to look into the matter.
I don't know if it's the mayor and city council or the Ministry of Public Infrastructure who is responsible for the works that's being carried out that this contractor is doing, but I need a relevant authority. I need to air our concern, or my concern, so that the relevant authorities can take note and decide what can be done.
The resident also spoke about the damage that is being done to him and his community, who take great pride in their surroundings.
I can't really put a monetary value to it or speak about the damages, but it's not only for me. The street is a well-maintained street, even the parapets along the street, and we don't want to see our community, this area that we help maintain, become deplorable.
On Monday, another resident complained that he and his entire household were infected with dengue because of the stagnant water created by the heaped-up mud of earth. George, it has been the second time persons have been complaining about the damage being done to the roads and the untidiness left by these sluice trucks that are taking mud and dirt to fill this land. They're asking the relevant authority to do something much better to bring alleviation to the people who are living in this community of Green Heart Street in Caneview Avenue. They're asking the relevant authorities to come in and visit this area and even at least repair the roads that were damaged by these trucks. Back to you, George.
Thank you, Andrew. We do hope to see an end to this destruction of our roads. Still ahead, our regional and international news.
Women's fashion trends change every day. That's why John Lewis Styles makes it their duty to source items directly from the manufacturing brand, offering you more choices and better prices. Women love to look great, whether it's for work or play. From clothing, shoes, accessories, to handbags, watches, fragrances. Let's make you feel like the only girl in the world. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Cause I owe it to me. Baby, all the men stand against the wall. They're so fine, they're so tall. And I wish they would come home with me. Baby, can you feel it?
Fire tell them about Victoria, the legends of Victoria, the secrets of Victoria now.
Get your tickets now for Legend of Victoria Village, written and directed by Ras Leon Saul, National Culture Center, Friday, May 20th to Sunday, May 22nd from 8 p.m. Admission, $1,500 and $1,000. Tickets now at NCC Box Office, sponsored by Banks, DIH.
Basketball fans, get ready for the invasion of the mighty DC Jammers of the US of A. Yes, they are coming to challenge the reigning top 4 basketball clubs in Guyana. The Goodwill Tour begins on Saturday, May 21st, when the Jammers battle the Ravens. On Sunday, May 22nd, they take on the Raiders from Linden. The action continues on Tuesday, May 24, when they match up with the Pacesetters. Then come Friday, May 27th, the DC Jammers takes on MVP Stanton Rose and his champion club, the Bounty Colts. All game starts at 18:30 hours at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall. Supporting games will feature Youth Basketball Guyana. Tickets cost $1,000. Children under 12 absolutely free. Chow Power will be in the house with lots of giveaways. Don't you dare miss the excitement. It's a Jubilee celebration. Basketball is back, sponsored by Mackinson.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
In news from the region now, Venezuelan lawmakers reject state of emergency decree. Lawmakers accused Maduro of ignoring the country's constitution in issuing the decree. Here's more from Euronews.
Venezuela's opposition-controlled National Assembly has rejected President Nicolas Maduro's state of emergency, claiming it will worsen the country's political crisis. The measures, which came into effect Monday, gave Maduro control over security and energy. Opposition leader Enrique Capriles has urged the people to ignore the decree. This is unconstitutional, and Maduro is not above the constitution. No minister is above it. This decree could be used to do anything. If Maduro wants to apply this decree, he should prepare the tanks for war. Maduro claims he's acted to see off threats to the politically divided country and went on to criticize Parliament. The National Assembly has lost political validity. It's a matter of time before it disappears, and that's what I believe. In Venezuela, hyperinflation, food and medicine shortages, and crime and corruption are commonplace. Last week, protest marches turned violent as the government tried to quash attempts to call a referendum to oust the president. More protests are planned over the next few days.
And, internationally, the world's largest cruise ship, Harmony of the Seas, prepares for its maiden voyage. BBC has more.
Okay, hold on to your hats. I've got about a minute to show you some of the top features on the world's biggest cruise ship. Deck 17, it's one of the fun decks. There's pools, there's jacuzzis, there's water slides. You can even go surfing on this ship. In total, 23 pools. Now, these ships aren't for everybody, but I tell you what, if you like a little crazy golf, it's on board. I won, by the way. Now, up the back of the ship, there is a monstrous slide. I'm going to show you what I mean. You see, I told you it was a monstrous slide. Quite literally, this thing takes you down from deck 17 to deck 6 in 12 seconds. It's a 10-story drop. Take a look at that. Oh, and who are you kidding? You think I'm not going to try it? I'll see you down there. Wow, that was a fast ride down. Okay, here we are on the boardwalk, still doing some finishing touches before she sets sail on her maiden voyage. But you know, there are 20 different places to eat on this ship. You've got everything from fine dining to buffets to, well, Mexican restaurants at the tequila bar. You've got burger joints, you've got cafe, you've even got celebrity chefs on board. Yeah, Jamie Oliver's restaurant on this ship. Now for me, it's a choice. Cheeseburger, tequila. Cheeseburger, I know. Well, you're not going to go thirsty on the world's biggest cruise ship. There are 42 bars, there's 127 different cocktails. Oh, and of course, as a good journalist in the name of research, it has to be done. And this one, you don't even have to talk to the bartender. It's a robotic bar. there you go. That is the tour on the world's biggest cruise ship. It's time for me to settle down in my stateroom. There are 2,747 of them on board this ship. And me, it's time to hit the sack. For you, it's goodbye. Out you go. Out you go. Bye-bye. Bye.
And that's Safetv 2 headline news for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Safetv 2 headline news on Facebook and YouTube. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast and Thursday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast. Good night, and do have a blessed evening.